I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties.
No worries.
Uh,
It's all good. We ain't going nowhere.
I'm so used to just being on the other side of this.
Real. I gotta say, you guys do a great job. You guys are both well spoken, man. You guys' interview with Todd Hart was, it's pretty dope. And yeah, I appreciate the way you guys. I don't know. I honestly, in my personal opinion, I feel like you guys are very down to earth. I kind of relate to you guys, especially to Yeshua's, story and background. I mean, we all got that hustle. We all got that background.
Right.
You see
Got to
that,
start somewhere.
yeah, but it's beautiful to see that all that grit, all that hustle, all them late nights, and it's coming to all together for you guys nicely, man. I'm glad to be in this position to be able to just talk with you guys about it.
We definitely appreciate it. Actually, it's 2 a.m. for me right now.
Where the hell? Where you at, man?
Yeah, so no, I'm on a contract with the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Kenya.
Beautiful.
That's my day job. I'm reporting on the elections and some human rights issues.
Wow.
So
Brilliant. Well, that's very interesting.
Wow. So
yeah,
I guess we can definitely chalk that up as to one of the many things under that, besides CEO and founder of this of Shield Coin,
yeah.
Marine veteran, founder and CEO of 2 businesses, holds a couple of master's degrees in human resources management. And Chris, Meta Captain, I've seen you everywhere in every single Discord chat that I've ever been in my short crypto career on DeFi. No, seriously, I've been in DeFi and I've been in the Discord chats for about the past 4 months, but I definitely see Meta Captain everywhere, answering questions everywhere, and it's good to know that I'm here, man. Definitely in good company.
Yeah.
So, Gabe, you got anything you wanna?
Yeah,
info. We'll go right into it.
Yeah, did you guys want to wait a couple minutes to have some more people join, or would you like to go ahead and have us get it started now and let people trickle in?
Yeah, we'll just get started now and let people kind of like flow in.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
drop some invites real quick. I was having to set up my headset and stuff, but I got all that set up. I'm gonna go drop some invites. People will start filing in.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. People are starting to file in. Chris is all set. We're all good. So Dan kind of did the introduction there for the leadership of Shield Coin. We have Ushua Nettles, the CEO founder, and Chris Ginn, the lead developer. So basically what we like to do on these AMAs is start people off with the basic information of the project, and then we could jump in and we open the floor to questions. So I'm just going to give a little information here on you guys, and maybe it'll answer some people's more basic questions, and then we can focus on more of the nitty gritty. So Shieldcoin's mission is to help legitimize the crypto space by adding a layer of protection for Shieldcoin holders. They have 3 utilities. The first utility offers investors insurance protection on crypto investments, right? Pretty important, pretty simple. But their second utility will provide a coin risk rating for each coin, either low risk, medium risk, or high risk. Now, Shieldcoin will offer 7% BUSD rewards via the 9% tax on buys and sells, so holders can generate income while also protecting their investment. And now the third utility is the Huddle Vesting. First, the project uses the Team Wallet reflections to acquire large sums of Bitcoin and Ethereum, helping the project reach the required insurance capitalization of $5 million. And second, this project will begin requiring real-world assets to build out the Shieldcoin business conglomerate, effectuating the profit-sharing agreement. Now, holders will benefit from rewards generated by the strategic buyback and burn feature, as well as indirectly through coin price appreciation. And we'll get into more of the details and numbers here in a minute. Now, these 3 utilities, now this is awesome, is going to be ready to go and active on launch day. This is something rare that you see. Now, the tokenomics is pretty simple. The total supply is 1 quadrillion tokens. There'll be a 50% initial burn of the total supply. And the 9% tax breaks up 7% rewards, 1% liquidity, 0.5% vault, and 0.5% team wallet. Okay. And if you guys want to know what the team wallet allocation is, we can also get into that in a few minutes. They did have their smart contract audited by InterFi with a 96 out of 100 score.
Anything you guys want to add to that? It was just a quick little brief of what we have going on over here as far as information.
No, that was actually pretty good. The rundown that's good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Now,
Yeah, so in addition to the Huddle Vesting side, we're incorporating in Wyoming. In addition to that, we'll actually create sub businesses underneath that parent company to hold the different real world assets that we actually purchase. And that
Okay.
structure is going to allow us to grow relatively easily over time.
Great. Shit. You guys let me know if you want to open a cafe in Wyoming, man.
Dan's looking to open coffee shops everywhere. Metaverse, Wyoming, you name it. He's gonna put a
Yeah.
coffee shop there.
We do. Yeah, man. Why not? But we do have some things about the pre-sale too. Some quick info specs. Saturday, March 26th, pre-sale. It's going down on Pink Sale. The link is available right on the Discord chat.
Yep.
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 I also posted it on the website now, so it's live on the website because I know there was a scam going around. We want to make sure that everyone knows where to find the best information.
For sure. Copy that. Okay. 250 BNB soft cap, 400 BNB hard cap. That's what we have here. Max buy is 2 BNB, and there will be 175 whitelists given out. Okay.
Yep.
So there's going to be about 50 BNB available for public pre-sale, man, right?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minimum. Yes.
Okay. Initial market cap estimate is approximately 479,000. 1 BNB is going to get us 515 billion tokens. Is that correct? Or
Yes, that is correct.
is that going to be when it goes public? What's it?
Public will be 407 billion tokens.
Correct.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's
Okay.
a little bit of a boost between the pre-sale and the public itself. You're going to sit on, I believe we worked it out to like 20% profit is essentially where you'll be at. So yeah, a little benefit to anybody who is involved in that early stage.
Okay, and how the insurance works. So what we got here is the initial purchase needs to be at least 250, and that gets you 1-to-1 coverage or 250 worth of insurance.
Right.
Second, that purchase gets you a 20-to-1 coverage. $100 equals 2,000 or 2K insurance.
Correct.
There's no maximum insurance we can buy, correct?
Correct. And just again, there's no maximum, but you never want to overinsure yourself. As a
True.
project, I know we should, promote the most buys or whatever, but the case really is you never want to have more insurance than you actually need. Otherwise, because your money is for investing, you want to make sure it's growing, so you always put it in the right places.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
and to bring it back around, of course you can buy as much shield coin as you want because shield coin's going to the moon. But
Correct.
if you're doing it as a purchase for your insurance and that's the way you're mitigating your risk on other investments that you're making, as Yeshua just explained, the idea here is to build your wealth. Use the knowledge that he has and the keys that he is going to give you to unlock that financial freedom and just focus on risk mitigation and wealth growth over time. And if that's the strategy that you take, then that's one thing and only insure whatever it is that you're looking to insure. But of course, always buy yourself a bunch of shield coins because this thing's gonna moon.
Yeah. Right.
Not financial advice.
Absolutely. Hey, there you go. There you go.
So you can also take your shield coin from the second purchase and reinvest it in another coin and still keep your insurance policy for those 30 days.
Correct.
As long as you still have the initial 250 in your wallet, right?
Correct. That's correct. And again, the purpose of that is to keep money flowing. We want other projects to benefit from our existence in the space as well. Hodling is very good if you believe in our project, but if you want to make sure you spread out and have different holdings, do that as well. Or this is why we set the actual taxes so low compared to other projects that are out right now.
Okay.
And I do appreciate that you guys promote diversifying, your DeFi crypto and your holdings. And, most projects is just, basically buy my coin and we're the only coin that exists, which is, totally cool, but also I really do appreciate that you guys see that there's an entire space out there and that we can all help each other and it's good to diversify. Now, the policy has to be repurchased every 30 days, correct?
Yes, reactivated by via transaction, a buy transaction specifically.
Okay. So, for example, I bought my initial 250. Now, the next day I buy, 100. That gets me the extended $2,000 coverage. Now, let's say a few days after that, I end up selling that 100 for, let's say, Meta BUSD. Do I still have that 2,000 coverage for those 30 days?
Yes, you do. It doesn't go away until the 30 day, and that's based on your blockchain transaction. So at the 30 days, you just need to re-up it, and then again, you can use the money and then use it again.
And
And that,
let me, and
yeah,
just so we do clarify that, you did say it correctly, but I just want to reiterate it. So you already had a Shield coin balance of $250. That was your policy maker. That's what allows you to make those policies. You then purchased $100. If all you did was sell those tokens, that was the value of that 100 and it still did not eat into that $250 balance, as long as you still have that, because that's what sets your policy, then yes, it is still valid. But if you sold over that amount and you no longer retained a $250 balance the day you make your claim, or the day you make your claim, then it would not be a valid claim.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. And yeah, just a couple last bullets on your coin, and then we can open the floor up here to questions. Using the coin risk rating, if you do get scammed or rug pulled on a low risk coin, you'll be reimbursed for 100% of what you lost, your initial investment on that coin. And if it's a medium risk coin and the same thing happens, you would be reimbursed back 50% of your initial investment of that coin. Is that correct? Did I say that correctly?
yes, that is correct. And again, the coin risk rating is already live, and I've made it live so people could actually ask me questions before launch, actually. And again, that analysis isn't a rating of the project, whether it's good or bad. That rating is under the business fundamentals and what amount of risk we're going to share with our community based on the project and what they're actually doing. Some people won't agree with the ratings, and I know that that's going to come out in a little bit, but it's fine. We really do want to say it's all based on business fundamentals. It's not based on whether we like the project or don't like the project. It's what are they doing? What have they actually done? And where is that going?
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Now, if anyone does need to fill out a claim, they can do so on a 5-question claim form on Shieldcoin's website. Okay, in case
Right.
anyone had that question. And again, just want to point out that only the initial investment is covered, not the appreciation or rise in coin value.
Right.
Right. Is that correct?
Correct. Unless you realize your actual gains and reinvest it, we only do what is considered the original investment. That's money you actually put into that project. The volatility of the market we can't ensure that.
Okay. So if the coin did rise in value, you'd have to sell those coins and repurchase them for that amount to be insured.
Correct.
Okay, great. And my last bullet here is that holders can request a specific coin to be reviewed by you guys to get on the coin risk rating. Is that correct?
Correct. So while I'm going through and I'm adding coins just heuristically, I'm just going down a list. If our community has specific coins that they're holding, they can always let us know and then we'll incorporate that into it. That being said, we don't do right at this stage, we're not doing pre-sales. Until the coin is actually live, we won't add it to the risk rating.
Oh, okay. That's a good point. Okay. And how do we go about submitting a coin for the CRR?
You can either go to our Discord and we have an actual sub channel for that, or you can DM me directly either on Twitter or Telegram.
Okay. Purchase. Okay, great. I'll make my
Yeah.
little notes. All right. Now we're about to open up the floor to questions here. Sorry, guys. But I just have some quick shooters kind of fire around about the pre-sale. So I see that the pink sale countdown leads to 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is that correct? Is on March 26th, is it at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time?
It's actually incorrect. That's my fault. I need to change that. It was actually supposed to be 1 p.m. and somehow I set the UTC time wrong. I set it for like 6 UTC, and I guess I flipped it and it set it to like 6 a.m. UTC instead of 6 p.m. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's supposed to be
6 p.m.
1
UTC.
p.m.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, great. And now what is the date and time for the public launch?
We're going to do the public launch a few hours after the pre-sale. Very part of it closes. We're just going to do it the same day.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And aside from the 9% tax, will there be any other taxes, penalties, or limits on sales during the launch?
I'll let Chris handle that one. Chris, you there? No, there's no limits. If you buy it, we're not stopping transactions. There will, however, if I'm not mistaken, be a sniping bot. If you try to snipe the project, there is something built into the contract that will prevent that at launch.
Oh, and that was actually one of my questions. You have a plan to avoid the bots? Okay, cool. So there will be
Hey, sorry guys. I was having technical difficulties again. But yes, just to clarify that for everybody, um, the it's not like necessarily an anti-sniping bot. There is just a anti-snipe code that will it will tax up to 99% total fee for the first two blocks. It's before humans can buy, so it has no effect on any humans. It's
Okay.
before you can even enter. It's just the time that is in between me signing the contract and then it actually going live on PCS for the UI. In between that time, there's obviously people that can interact with the contract before like the UI updates. So it's just during that time period. If anybody does try to snipe the contract itself, they will not be able to. Outside of that, there is no added fees, added taxes. It's just the standard tax situation.
Okay, and will there be a buy limit during the launch?
No,
No.
no buy limits, no sell limits, nothing silly like that. Everybody is open to trade however they feel they want to
Yeah.
trade.
All right. So on that note, we'd like to open up the questions to the floor. Yeah, anyone who would like to speak, ask some questions, just go ahead and request. And Yeshua or Chris will go ahead and cue you in.
I see a hand up already.
Let's roll.
Hello there, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, nice to meet you. Just with the risk rating for the coins, theoretically you could end up.
I cannot hear anybody.
I
can hear you.
Which is a huge amount. At any point, these coins could change the risk rating. Is there some sort of system in place that would alert you to say something is in a coin or something drastically wrong? Because someone might go, well, that's a medium risk, but now it's a high risk, and I'm paying a different price.
Okay. Yes. So the updates will come out probably on a bi-weekly basis. But if you purchase a project when it was medium risk, for example, and within your 30 days it turns into a high risk, you're still covered for that project at the medium risk rate until the next activation of a new contract.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about tracking it for throughout the month or anything like that. It's when at the time of purchase, and we can look at the blockchain. We'll know what it was rated at because I'll keep a historical record of all of the different publications we made.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
We're trying to make it as easy as possible. Again, no one has time to make sure that there's an updated version of it every day. Every 30 days, we'll post it up and we'll notify everyone across our different social media platforms. But we're trying to keep it simple, and it's always to the benefit of the holder. So if it was active at the time you purchased it, that'll be that's that contract for 30 days. It's valid for that version. And that being said, though, if it goes lower, we will treat it as a lower risk if something happens during that time as well. So if it goes lower, it benefits you. If it goes higher, it stays where it's at until the new contract goes into force.
Okay, and would there be a way for the people looking to invest to see when that coin was last assessed? Because they could see maybe that one coin was assessed 2 days ago, and one coin was assessed 3 weeks ago. Essentially, they might think, I might wait till that's risk assessed again, or can I request that to be assessed before I invest?
I won't do requests on reassessments only because there's a lot that goes into the background of this analysis. It's I say it's 25 points that we're looking at, but each of those points I'm actually digging pretty deep. But once the project is on our radar, we keep on reviewing it, particularly if we hear something from that community as if they've changed something or if they actually launched a utility. And by utility, I'd like to clarify this in this AMA. We don't mean reward dashboards or staking programs. Those, while they are technically utilities, they're not functionally that project's flagship utility, which means their underlying utility is either launched or it's not launched. those things anyone can quickly add to their website. That's not going to really increase or impact value or price. It's not really going to move their price too much. Real utilities do, and that's what we're referring to when we talk about utilities for the CRR purposes.
Okay, brilliant, awesome. Yeah, I'll step aside. Cheers for answering that, mate.
No worries. And thank you for the question.
Awesome. We got anybody else out there? I see a couple familiar faces out there. Alan, I hope all is well. See you. Senor Spikes, see you. I got a question. How about this? You guys are talking about buying some real world assets. What are some of the real world assets that you guys are looking to acquire? Can you give us an example?
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely my side. One of the things we're considering when we're looking at real world assets are businesses that aren't as affected by the economy or the ups and downs of the stock market writ large. And one of those for us is logistics companies. I have a background in logistics. I did it for a decade in the military. I did it for the State Department. I have a long running history of that industry, and I understand it from ports to trucks to planes. I understand how to move things around, and that doesn't go away. And as we see companies like Amazon or FedEx, they're exploding even during the pandemic. We want to definitely have a hold in that industry because we know it brings stability. And when you're dealing with insurance, you need more stable companies to underlie your business fundamentals. So that's a example of what we're looking at.
That's brilliant. That was a great answer.
Just to piggyback off that, even whenever we're going to be doing like our crypto vault investing, we're going to be looking at more stable coins themselves, and then more importantly, coins that are directly attached to blockchain services like True Validation that offer true revenue streams that have a proven track record of, even in a down market, always moving forward. It might not be the most exciting thing in the world, but it works.
Right. And that's a good point too. Insurance by its very nature isn't that exciting, but it's almost always essential to growing wealth. You can't grow wealth on shaky ground. And that's what we're trying to provide. We're trying to provide stability in the space writ large so people can actually build wealth. We all came here to make money. But the only way to do that is to say, I can create an actual roadmap of how I'm going to invest and make sure that there's a floor that I can never go below. And that's what crypto insurance brings to the market.
That's amazing. Let me ask you, will there be opportunity for holders to stake?
Yes. Actually, we've talked about that. Chris has talked about that. It'll probably be through Brew Labs. We really like that company. Their system is phenomenal, actually. So
And
when
just
it does go
to
live, go ahead.
reiterate, as I say, sorry, just to cut in on something real quick, just when we're talking about staking directly related to Shieldcoin, Shieldcoin's model and economy is strongly based on continuing to roll that volume and have as little sell pressure against that volume that's negative towards the economy. Therefore, the staking that would more than likely be available through Shieldcoin will be LP staking farming. We wouldn't want to necessarily add a larger amount of circulation directly towards normal staking or any type of dynamic flow like that, just because you're already moving so much of the supply around every month in order to facilitate the added insurance transactions. So just in order to keep those reflections high and keep your general reflection rate proper, the yield proper on the reflection rate, and not overinflate it with added sell pressure, we would offset that with additional liquidity. So like something like farming would be more than likely what you will see on the roadmap.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
Is there anyone else out there now that wants to
Oh yeah, I see a hand up. 1 second.
Hello.
How's it going, Maddie?
Hey, how are you? Nice to meet y'all. This is for Meta Captain, I believe. Pink Cell, will they be purchasing any of the project's tokens? And if so, will they be bought back so it won't like tank the value of the coins at some point in time?
Yes. Simple answer to that is yes. The way that Pink Sale works, like just about every launch pad that I've ever worked with so far, they take a percentage of the token supply itself. So they leave their upfront cost somewhat low, not really, somewhat low. I can be very transparent with you guys. Pink Sale charges like one BNB to list on Pink Sale. It charges another BNB for you to finalize through Pink Sale. And by doing so, they handle like all your airdrops for you, the moving of the BNB from there to the liquidity pool, stuff like that. They go ahead and they take all your tokens for the pre-sale and for the liquidity, and they handle that portion for you. It's a fairly low cost for that management, but there are additional costs, and I'm guessing that they subsequent this as a form of like marketing because you are listed on Pink Sale as a supply, a set supply of the tokens that you provide through their platform. So you give them an additional supply. I think in our case, it was, and I wish Luca was here to correct me because Luca keeps my numbers for me, but I believe it was right around 3 trillion tokens. So the price of that at launch, of course, isn't that high, but they generally usually won't work with you right then and there. They usually just are very dodgy about how you're able to purchase those tokens back, and they'll wait like a day or two, and then they'll give you that option. Hey, do you want to purchase these tokens back from us, or do you want us to unload these on the market ourselves? They kind of strong arm you there. More than likely, we'll probably end up paying something in the I'm guessing in the realm of anywhere between like $30,000 to $40,000 to get those tokens back if we do go that route. Um, of course, that would be extremely beneficial. I will leave that decision up to Luca and Ushua as far as how they want to handle that procedure, what they want to do there. Um, yes, it'll just be a judge of the economy on the day of launch and so on and so forth on what's the best decision for the team to make.
Yeah,
Very, very good answer. And thank you for being transparent.
no worries. Actually, I think we have two more questions. A second, I'll bring them up. We'll go with Catherine first, and then we'll do eSwift.
Hello, I just want to ask, do you have any inspiration about this project and what motivates you to do this?
I'll take that first, and then I'll let Chris answer as well.
Okay.
For me, so I started off, again, if you've read my profile, I was a U.S. Marine first. I became a diplomat and a business person, and then I went into insurance. As I was kind of going through the process of, figuring out how to build my personal wealth, I came across insurance and I realized the value of it, especially as a business person. And I want to kind of bring that to the space because a lot of people see crypto, specifically the DeFi side, as a haven for scammers. I'm trying to get DeFi away from that association, and I think having investor protection allows us to do that. And I'll kind of let Chris talk about the DeFi and his Unite DeFi agenda because it really goes hand in hand.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. We lost him for a second. He'll join in a second.
Looks like eSwift.
Yeah.
Back now?
No, he's back. You're a little bit broken up. All right. We'll go to the next question, and then we'll answer that question as we keep on talking. Does that sound good?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I'm so sorry, guys. It's good to know that it's not just my server that does this to me because this happens to me all the time. It's got to be my house. Anyways, long story short, the reason why I joined the project is publicly at least. I'm attached to many projects behind the scenes. That's just a general, there's not a lot of devs in this space. But for me to publicly attach my name to a project, I have to believe in a few key elements of the project itself. And honestly, the most important one for me is just, is it innovative? Is it bringing something to the space that I haven't necessarily seen before that I think will make things better? And this project really fits those goals. A second one is, do I believe that the team that's behind the project can fulfill those goals that they've already got me excited about? And in this situation, that's just dead set usual. I don't know anything about insurance. Or to tell you the truth, guys, I don't know anything about like finances. I've been told that I know how to make a lot of money, but I don't know how it's done. So I just leave that to other people to handle. And Ushua is that guy. You can tell by the way he handles himself, by the way he talks. Exactly, the confidence just comes through. I've had a lot of private time with this man, talking to him one on one, and I feel that he can make me a richer man. So I'm happy to be a part of this team, and I'm looking forward to the things that we can do. Again, he instilled in me the confidence that he has what it takes to pull this off. A lot of teams and a lot of projects over the years have talked about this and how they might try to implement it. And I haven't seen a confident plan of implementation like I have seen from usual.
I hope that answers your question. We really do want to build out this space. We really want it to be a safe space to invest and for people to actually grow their wealth. That's very important for me. Again, I don't come from money. I had to build everything I have on my own, but I want to make sure that it's a little easier for everyone that comes along with us on this project and just down the road in general.
And like, and from being somebody who's been like at the head of projects now, it's so sad to hear a community member come across you in chat, like in main chat, and just spill their guts right there to everybody. Hey guys, I just lost $25,000 on this scam. All of my tokens from my wallet are gone, and I'm starting from zero. That's a gut check right there for everybody that reads it. Like, wow, this does happen and this can happen to me. And having a solution for that, and again, you're not making them, you're not giving them back their $25,000 that they had fully because they hadn't realized it. But you're making sure that they're not starting from zero. And if they want to get back in the game, they can get right back in the game. And that's an amazing, amazing aspect of this project.
Agreed.
Yes. I agree also.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up E Swift real quick because she's been waiting for a minute. 1 second. All right.
Well, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm very new to crypto, and when I initially started investing, I was actually investing with a family member, and we were sharing a wallet. And because we gained some successes, and out of fear that we would be scammed some way, somehow, we decided to split our wallet. And so now I have a separate wallet, and I have shared coins that I got from the other wallet, but my own investments. My question is, I understand that, this is not what I intend to do, but if a person is looking to get coverage for their initial investment, but I don't quite know because it was a combination of funds going in from a shared wallet. How does Shield Coin navigate that? If I don't even know what my initial investment is at this point because it was mostly from gains, how do you gauge, in the event of a rug pull, and me getting filling out a claim, how would you gauge what the initial investment was?
That's a little bit tricky in a lot of ways, and we actually had a discussion similar to this in our last AMA. A new wallet that receives tokens from an older wallet is considered has a zero cost basis, which means you have no actual cost basis for that new wallet unless you realize that gain. And the reason being is because individual wallets, we can't see who owns them, and we can't see. There's no real clarity beyond that. All we can see is that a transaction occurred. If it was just a transfer, that wallet has a zero cost basis, and we are insuring the wallet and the specific projects, not where the tokens came from. We can't do an additional analysis on that. So that one is one of those instances where you'd have to realize the gains in the new wallet to some degree, or we're gonna make an announcement after about a week after launch that would probably be more aligned to what you're asking about. We can't really go into detail on it on this call, but there is something that we've come up as a solution that may actually help with that as well.
And
Okay,
correct.
perfect.
And you honestly, you hit the nail on the head in general. If you want that large crypto assurance coverage rating, the easiest thing to do in that situation is to honestly just choose what your coverage level that you want is, and then buy and sell that amount. So, like, if let's just say it's SafeMoon, for example, and you transferred over today, $2,000 worth of SafeMoon, and you just want to cover some level of risk there, even though it does suck in that situation, you'll have to pay a tax on that transaction. You always could sell $400 worth of that SafeMoon, purchase it right back, and you now have that standard on that wallet to actually have that coverage in place to where if anything did happen to that SafeMoon project and they did something and everything was gone, you would still have at least that basis of 400 coverage.
And then again, just adding on, just wait 7 days after launch. We will be making an announcement, and just kind of consider that in your investment strategy. It may actually be very useful for you specifically.
Correct.
Okay, thanks so much, guys.
No worries.
Okay. We got any other questions out there? If not, I've got one.
Go ahead. Two of them popped up.
So I'll get to shoot mine off. Who makes the decisions on the claims?
I'd make the ultimate decision because right now I'm doing the analysis. As I broaden the team, I'll probably still make the final decision if it's really on the line, but I'll empower those who are working on that team doing those analysis to actually make that decision on their own. They'll provide a justification so we can all, as a team, reference it, but that's how we'll move forward with it. But we'll always try to favor the client, not our project in that sense. The individual almost always has to be, from an insurance standpoint, we're protecting your investment, and that's what you're trusting us to do. So we want to make sure that we always err on the side of caution, and it benefits you as much as possible when a decision is on the gray space.
And everybody heard that. He chooses the claims. He does, not me.
Yeah, if you want to send mad emails, I'm definitely the person. Don't send it to Chris or Luca. It'll always go to me. As the CEO, I'm responsible for everything anyway, so I'll always deal with that aspect of the business.
Sounds good.
Hey, Ishwa, I have a follow-up question actually. As far as the revenue generation after launch, with the Huddle Vesting, the second part of it, where you're going to begin acquiring real-world assets to effectuate the profit sharing agreement, how soon after the launch will that part of the revenue generation get going? Or how long will that?
That's really determined based on how fast we build up to our what we call our capitalization. So in the U.S. specifically, there are a variety of states that have different levels for insurance companies that provide protection for property. And crypto right now is considered property. So we want to hit that $5 million capitalization, and that'll be in part made up of our market cap, but in part we really want to have at least 50% of that in real cash. And the reason being is if claims come through, we want to be able to actually pay those claims above and beyond without having to worry about the market cap dipping too far below that 5 million. Once we've hit that point, then we know any excess, we can start considering the allocation for project development. And that project development will be investing in real world assets. But we'll make announcements as we hit those milestones as well. So it won't be a shock to the community. They'll know what those are, and we'll try to make sure everyone's informed of what we're doing and why we're doing it as much as possible. Just for transparency.
Okay, so after you reach that 5 million capitalization, that's when you'll begin to invest in, as you mentioned earlier, the logistics companies, the stable coins. That'll
Correct.
come after, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. First and foremost, we're an insurance company, so we need to make sure that we can actually provide insurance.
Great. Makes sense.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right, we'll pass it back to the floor.
Who was first? I think Rusty was first on this one, wasn't he? Or Jab?
Rossi, go ahead, mate, if you got one.
Well, I've got two actually, so and they're a little bit involved, but so I'll go with the shorter one first. The list of I mean, here we are. I believe you extended the pre-sale date, but we there was supposed to be a list of tokens. I mean, will we see this list prior to launch?
That list is already live. It's live on the website, the Coin Risk Rating.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go check that out, and just let me know if you have questions. Yep.
Sure. And then the second question: could you walk us through an example claim? And that would be the end of my question. Thank you very much.
Okay. So a basic claim, again, you'll go to the website. You'll say basically this scam occurred. We ask a few questions. We'll ask you what wallet was scammed. We'll double check on the back end on our side, the BSC scan, to ensure that the coverage was in place and how much. Then we'll determine basically what coin was scammed and how much you initially invested. So we'll look back into the record again on the blockchain to see how much your original investment was. At that point, we'll know how much your claim will be paid. If we have no issues, we don't think there's like you're trying to defraud the company or whatever the case may be, we'll actually make the claim in BUSD from the vault directly. We'll just send you that payment, and then we'll notify you of the transaction hash so you know that you received it. And we'll keep a record for our purposes.
Is there going to be a mediation, or or what happens if somebody ends up suing? And that'll be final. Thank you so much.
Suing for what? I guess is the best way.
Sure, I'll expand upon that. Claiming that here you are, you're offering. We see this all day. People buy something, they don't know what the heck they're buying. They think they're getting one thing, and then they feel that they were defrauded. So that's my question.
Okay. If it goes to that, again, we're incorporating in Wyoming. We'll have to go through the court process like any other company would do. I mean, who I am as a person. I'm doxxed. I'm doxxed with the company. The company's it's incorporating. Actually, it's in the process of incorporating right now. So again, if someone wants to sue the company, they basically will have to just put in a court case. I mean, a suit, and we'll have to go through the court process.
Awesome. So now it is working. Sorry, guys. I was having the hardest time getting my microphone to work. Real quick, I want to run through that walkthrough with Rusty, just because we have we have a real world example right now that's kind of curious. So, Rusty, you might have to inform me because I haven't stayed up to date on it. But with crypto cars and crypto planes, did they ever pull liquidity?
I am not certain. We haven't deep dived them yet to see what happened. But I do know that they completely shut down all of their social media, their website, everything just gone. And there was an article I saw. Actually, it was like a week back saying they were shutting down that I can't believe nobody knew about.
Yeah, interesting. So, that's a really great example of, I know something Yusha was talked about before, where the team has just kind of out of nowhere decided hey, this project is done and we're walking away from it. And I think, Rusty, you said crypto cars had 112,000 holders.
I'm not sure if they still do, but as of 2 days ago, I think 118,000 people don't even know that they're defunct.
Exactly. So that's a very interesting case of something where I believe, last I checked, I believe the liquidity is still there. But obviously it's either going to get drained by sell-offs or people or maybe they end up pulling the liquidity. I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there, but I do know it's a very interesting situation where the public's fairly unaware of what's going on. All socials have been dumped. It's essentially a dead project now. You haven't necessarily immediately lost your value, though. You're still holding tokens that are worth something. You can still sell them across the market and get your value back. Out of curiosity, how do we handle a situation like that within Shieldcoin?
Again, that's news to me. I'd have to actually look into how the case is unfolding right now, because again, as these cases come out, I'll actually try to evolve cryptocurrency to make sure that we can actually protect investors. Because again, some of these are new ways to form scams. Because that technically wouldn't be a scam, but someone down the line is going to, in the Ponzi scheme form of that type of project, they're going to lose a lot of money. And we don't want people to be in a predicament where they can't start reinvesting in the crypto space and they'll actually just leave. And we don't want people to be leaving the DeFi side. We want more people to come in. So that's something I have to consider and look in how this unfolds.
I've seen it a lot of times. I mean, recently there was a project and Henry's aware of this, called Burger Burn, where eventually at the end of the day, when they decided that they were all said and done, they actually didn't pull liquidity. They just left liquidity, essentially shuttered their doors and said, we're done, but you can still sell against the market to get your money back. Obviously, a ton of people took losses there because they were way down from their initial investment, but it technically wasn't necessarily a complete scam. They did decide to try to do things, and over time, I think over the course of like 4 months, is whenever they finally decided, hey, we're done.
Yeah. And actually, because they didn't drain liquidity, that technically it's not a rug pull. So it's not a scam in that version. It's not a overt scam or a scam of opportunity.
Correct. So, yeah. So I guess what I'm getting at is in situations like crypto cars, it'll probably be an educational point to try to grow our community and have our community be the voice of reason amongst other people. Hey guys, take a look at this, pay attention to your investment, stuff like that.
Yeah. And ultimately, insurance is here to protect you, but you're still responsible for your own assets. That's just the nature of investing. Even with real estate or any other form of investing, stocks included, you have to keep an eye out on what that team is doing, or you've been trusting someone with your money. You can't just forget about it. That's not how investments work. You actually do need to maintain some level of awareness on what's going on in those spaces.
Yes. And in time, building up our team to better update and keep live the coin risk rating, and maybe adding in a section for stuff that we've seen that you should be made aware of. Maybe steer far away from stuff like that.
Yeah. And again, this is also part of the business fundamentals. A lot of the projects that we evaluated, that entire almost 200 plus projects that are on the current CRR were CertiK audited. But that doesn't mean that they're inherently safe. It just means that CertiK verified their contract was safe. There's still the other business components that you have to take into account, including who the team is, what their experience and background is. Do they have the experience to bring that specific project to a place of success? All these go into what the CRR is and why it's so valuable as a tool for the crypto space. Again, it's not a financial advice, but you should consider this project or not consider this project because it would be considered fundamentally a business. It's a high risk business. Again, another example I'll give from the CRR is there are a lot of projects out there that have swaps as their sole utility. There are a lot of swaps out there. Everyone's not going to adopt every single swap that comes onto the market. So that becomes high risk. It's a common utility. There's a lot of competition in the market. Another one is ones that lend with high APYs. If you're seeing 15,000% APYs, that's one of those too good to be true kind of things. And it really comes down to what I'm going to take from Chris from Tango Crypto, Ponzi-nomics. It basically means those who get in early and get out early are going to make the most money. Everyone else is going to be left holding the bag. And we look at all that as we're evaluating these projects to determine what risk we'll take on, because we're trying to help educate the community. We're trying to help make the space safer. And a part of doing that is just saying, yeah, these projects they exist. They've been around. They even have a high market cap. That doesn't make them safe. And if you're trying to grow your wealth steadily, you should really consider how you mitigate your risk and how much risk you'll take on with each investment strategy you deploy.
We got some questions.
All right. Shantae, we'll bring her up. And then Jab, you can go second.
Hey everyone, how are you?
All right.
So I want to start off with because my question may be a little interesting. So I want to start off saying I am thoroughly impressed with this project. I'm thoroughly impressed by Yushima. I know Chris just from other investments that I have. In saying that, I will say this year, I have invested and have my eye on projects such as yourselves. So I'll say we going forward because I'm not on. I'm going to invest as soon as possible. So I'll say we.
Sounds
So
good.
so we have taken it upon ourselves, this project and others, which I'm all for. The government has not yet stepped in and regulated, and I applaud all of us for taking it upon ourselves to educate and be transparent and try to create projects that will make this crypto space safer, because right now we are synonymous with fraudulence and scams, and anyone who's investing in crypto right now is early in. And so what you're doing is great, because in 6 months to a year to two at most, you're going to have at least half of the world, I would say, in crypto. And the first thing they're going to do is try to protect their investments. So you and other projects that have recently launched, I applaud us all. Devil's advocate. I'm a businesswoman and I see other sides of things. We may, and I say we, you guys and other projects, we may black sheep ourselves, if you will, because some may feel that we're taking it upon ourselves to regulate. And us not being a government agency, insurances and other projects that are vetting and putting out information on potential other sketchy projects or giving ratings. What are you guys' thoughts on, Yushima, if we give a rating, or if other projects who are doing doxing and whatnot, are we providing a mechanism for projects that we may deem risky to, if you will, I know we're not a regulating body, but if you will, appeal? Or, I've seen another project or two who aren't quite where you guys are put out announcements on different folks. What are your thoughts, and what are we doing to, I guess, protect ourselves as a project from not potentially overstepping what others may feel we're overstepping by essentially self-regulating?
Okay. Let me take that. I'll take that question in parts just to kind of make sure it's clear what I'm trying to convey. We are not a government entity or a government body, and we don't. The goal is it's to keep the government a little bit away from crypto. We do want regulations down the road that does help us, but to some degree, the space has to start kind of coalescing around what's common practice. That's the nature of DeFi in its version. This is basically a perfect version of capitalism, and we're trying to help facilitate that. We're not saying projects are bad or good. We're saying we wouldn't put our money there. Or we're not going to risk. We're not going to share as much risk with this type of project. That being said, so going to the other side of that, we're not putting out the details of how we're rating projects, but we are opening the door for projects to reach out to us and ask specifically about their project. And we'll give them the information on why their rating was a specific way. And they can take that information and they can act on it, or they can disregard it. We're not saying they have to change or do anything, honestly. They basically have that opportunity available to them. People can choose, and we write it in the CR as well. This is not financial advice. This is our analysis of a project based on business fundamentals. And this is the type of risk we're willing to take on, because we as a project, we're so new. We want to make sure that we can take on the risk that we're saying we're going to risk share with. Chris, do you want to add to that? Let me see.
Again, I'm all for it, because the government doesn't really know what to do, and you got government individuals who know about crypto and invest in crypto, and you have others that don't. And I believe that we're paving the way to work side by side with the government whenever they figure out what they want to do. And I'm an advocate for everything that we're doing in other projects, because we're providing that pathway, if you will. So I love what you guys are doing. Love it. And my first thought when I saw you guys on Todd Hart was, oh, we're all black sheeping ourselves. But at the same time, I think we're putting all of ourselves in a better position to help. I think we're great to step in front and provide that pathway. for the regulators when they come. And I'm really proud of you guys. And I wasn't a fan at first, but I've been thinking, and this is totally cutting edge. Like Chris said, like this is game changing if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. So I'm proud of you guys. I love what you're doing, and I look forward to the future at the end of the day.
Thank you. And just to add on to that as well, once a part of our marketing strategy isn't just going to be to get new clients. It will be in part to start lobbying in DC for the DeFi space. We don't really see a lot of coverage right now, even with the December congressional hearing. A lot of that was centralized exchanges. These are stable coins and big. This is basically what the stock market has already become for crypto. The DeFi side has basically no one speaking out for it. And if we, along with the rest of the Unite DeFi projects, make a concerted effort, it's likely that we will be able to flesh out how the government interacts with this space, because many in government right now, including Elizabeth Warren, and they're anti-crypto because they only understand Bitcoin, the mining, and the energy costs. They don't really understand the fundamentals of the DeFi side, and we know it's going to be a heavy lift, but we need to educate them. And again, that wave of Congress is going to start moving out and across the world. This generation, the current generation of leaders are going to start retiring, and a new generation is going to come in. We want to be on the side of informing them of what this space is about and how it best fits into the future of finance, not just how things have always been.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Good job. All right, I'm leading myself out now.
No worries. Thank you for the question. Jeb, you want to go? Are you up for another question?
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Brilliant. Jumping into the future a bit again. I see you guys would look to start new projects in the future. I imagine with this project you are creating underneath the Shieldcoin brand.
Are you asking if we're deciding to create a new project under the Shieldcoin brand?
Just so on the website it would be saying like like the third quarter this year, it'd be like potentially looking at starting up new projects.
Oh no, that would be on the crypto side. That would be in real world investing, those type of projects. That's a part of the Huddle Vesting roadmap.
Oh, right. Okay, I just didn't match them up then.
Yeah, so those projects are designed to kind of underlie the fundamentals of the insurance portion. We want to strengthen it in saying that even if volume drops, we have other projects that are generating profits that can help support the claim wallet as well as the general fundamentals of the token. So we're using a portion of that to buy back and appreciate the token's price, take tokens out of circulation. So whoever's still with us at that time, they're just benefiting from the early investments and the different strategies we're deploying over time.
Yeah. Okay. You've probably been asked this loads of times, and I may have missed it. Sorry if it's the 100th time you've been asked.
No worries.
You work off a lot of trends, and a lot of people are looking at already spending money in sort of the metaverse area. Do you think the crypto game with insurance is viable there?
I think it's viable, but again, it's more or less a protection behind other projects. So what Shieldcoin is trying to do is position ourselves as the underlying fundamental for the space. Everything else will, to some degree or another, use us as a platform to make sure that they have more stability. And that's what we're going to try to expand on, again, with the announcement after launch, with some of the other things we're going to roll out. And again, unlike most projects, we are launching with a utility, but our utility has no limit on how it can grow. There's not a lot of upfront cost to it. It's more or less about how we do the background planning. So exponential growth in our space is very viable because we have, first off, no competition. And even if other projects are launching similar projects, they don't always have the necessary skill set or background. So we know that we have a first mover advantage that most projects don't have.
Definitely.
But again, I work with Chris, so I don't need to move into the metaverse in the same way because MetaBUSD is already going to be in that space. You see what I'm saying? We're not trying to take over everything in the space. We're trying to make sure we're carving out what's needed in our realm and then support other projects to do what they do best.
I know this is specifically your project is so heavy. You must be absolutely up to your eyeballs in it.
20-hour days.
Absolutely swimming in it. So I was just curious as to, just one of those little lights in your head say, oh, that's a goal that we'll have in about, 7-8 months time. And I was just curious if you had that in mind. And like you said, not specifically my example of metaverse, but it's nice to know that you've got that branching out. You've got the trunk of the project now, and that can branch out in so many different things. And I really like that.
Yeah, yeah. We think this project has a lot of potential. And I again, my first and foremost is the people that are in this meeting, this AMA, the people that are already in our Discord and Telegram. My primary goal is to make them a lot of money because y'all are believing in a project that the space already needs, but also you're believing in a team that actually can pull it off. And I want to reward that. That's very important to me because I don't like putting my money in places that aren't going to grow. And I don't want anyone else to have to be in that position either. But that being said, I do really want to make sure that the space is both protected and also safe. And we really bring in real money. I want this to look like how the stock market receives funds from pension plans and retirement funds. I want the space to be able to handle that, like that wave of money. But I want it to be done in a responsible way. So, government regulation doesn't come in and destroy the space, and not just the U.S. government. This is worldwide. Singapore put out rules to the same degree. Basically, investors aren't being protected, and they want to clamp down on things. So this is the only way to start protecting against that and say we can point to something tangible and say there's projects out there really making the space better, and we're not the only ones. If you watch the Todd Hart videos, he actually done I think 4 videos already in the last couple of weeks. He's hit a lot of projects that are doing different things in the space. So it's new, but we're definitely doing something specific in this space, and it's not going to be a lot of competition for it. We have one more question. I know we're running up on time.
I actually want to touch base real quick on Shantae's question. I had technical difficulties, my phone died, but real quick on as far as DeFi, regulating DeFi, I strongly believe that is how regulation and how safety will be implemented within our space. I don't think that outside agencies have the capabilities now or will anytime in the near future to provide protections for hodlers. As well as protections for projects. I make this point whenever we talk about this because I want to try to make this clear to people. I'm not saying that it'll happen overnight, but in time, another offset potential that something like this has is I spend a lot of time one-on-one with projects during incubation periods before they get started. And one thing that every project is worried about is, at this point, the investor, the hodler, is literally trained to wait for 4 or 5x, pull out your initial, and let the rest ride. This is something that in time, working with the right projects and being able to take them from incubation through everything, you might be able to change the investor's mindset there and actually give reassurance towards the projects themselves that they can avoid dump processes like that. That currently is the only way for the hodler to protect their money is to actually pull it back out and to live on those free rides, so to speak.
The house money.
The house money. And then as well, the other thing that she brought up as far as dealing with other projects, as far as us providing safety nets and other teams providing safety nets, I can talk personally to that. I know exactly the announcements that she's talking about. I'm a part of that team that the announcement was made about. That team had a member in it that I personally was unaware of certain things. Because of that announcement, which was a good thing at the end of the day, we were able to do restructuring, change some things around to give reassurance to all team members, as well as any investors that might be involved in that project. So at the end of the day, whether or not everybody agreed with that announcement and whether or not every team member was happy about it, the service provided was still beneficial to the space. And the same thing's going to happen here. We might do ratings on different projects and coins, and they might get upset about it. But that's not the purpose or the goal. The purpose of the goal is to build wealth and try to protect the hodlers.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, I 100% agree. We'll bring up one more question from Maddie, and I think we're running up against the time, so we'll have to cut it off after that. Maddie, I'm bringing you up now.
Oh, my
Go
mic
ahead.
was muted. I love talking to myself. All right. So I was on your CRR. I see a lot of new coins out there and some old ones and stuff like that. As the project meets your 25-point standard check, will they be upgraded?
Yes, they will, and we'll keep an eye on most of these projects. Again, we can't look at every project every 2 weeks, but we are also tracking announcements, and we'll listen out for different changes, and we'll also go back and review the actual financials and the holder list and everything else of each project, and we'll update it as necessary, and then we'll send out a broadcast like, "Oh, we updated this one down or up," just to be for people's awareness.
That's really good. That's really, really helpful.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna ask a dumb question, and I always say that there are no dumb questions, but this might be one, okay? Your 25-point inspection, is that private?
It is.
Okay.
A part of it is, and this is the reason being is twofold. We don't want to get into the legal battles of saying this project is bad on this point, because then it really does become a financial analysis and not just a business analysis. But also, we don't want scammers to evolve their process as fast. Like, we know it'll happen anyway because that's just the nature of the game. But keeping it private to some degree keeps a level of, it gives us the edge, and we can definitely see certain things with projects, and they don't know what we're looking at, and that's why it's so detailed.
All right. Very, very good questions. Thank
And
you.
it wasn't a bad question. That was a good question. All right.
Well, that was amazing. We've got a gang of notes here. It's always a pleasure, just to listen to you guys, much less to have been a part of you guys tonight on this AMA stage. I don't know, Gabe, you have anything you'd like to say or anything?
Yeah, we actually missed the introductions in the beginning, but this is Gabe and Dan, and we're with El Crypto Cafe, and we love to just educate the public, begin newbies as well as people experienced in DeFi, and bring the community together with projects that we love. And I don't know if that was the last question. I'll let Yeshua make that decision, but we just want to say thank you to both Chris Ginn and to Yeshua Nettles and the Shieldcoin Nation for allowing us on here. We're big believers in your project. We wish you guys all the best, and you guys just let us know whatever you need, and we got you. And best of luck on your launch and well beyond, and we'll be a part of that journey with you.
Yep.
Sounds good. Again, if anyone has any additional questions, just ask either in any of the chats. I'll definitely answer them. I'm up a lot. So I don't mind answering questions. So if you didn't get to ask them here, just reach out to us, send us an email, and we'll post it so everyone can kind of see those answers. If you haven't done already, just join us on Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. Let people know that people are excited about this program and this project. Anything you have, Chris? All right. That's. Hold on. He looked like he's trying to come on.
He's trying.
You can do it, Chris.
I'll say what he's thinking. Shield coin to the moon.
Yeah, I think that's what he's gonna say.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you all for being here. We'll have another AMA before launch, and then we'll actually be live during the launch as well. So looking forward to it. Have a good day.
I'll be there
Have a
to
good
tune in
evening.
for launch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We will be ready.
Have a good day. Sorry.
He made it.
Man, I don't know. I'm gonna have to buy a new phone or something because I'm doing this off my phone and it's just terrible. But thanks, guys. Have a great night.